Right, while I'm waiting for rose joints and stuff to turn up to do the back end, I thought I'd get on. I've got a fresh bottle of gas from my welder, so I'm going to get on. And I don't know if you've seen the other video, but I've made the bottom of the windscreen flat so I can get glass easier, early up the car a little bit. I've got to make the top of the windscreen flat as well. It hasn't got much of a curve on it, but it isn't flat. They do say this is a flat glass year, but it isn't. 66 is got a very slight curve on it, so I'm going to make it flat. And the way I'm going to do this is the sides here seem reasonably flat, but it starts curving here. So I'm going to cut this all the way across and all of the inside, and then I'm just going to push it back till it's flat, recut it where it overlaps, weld it back together, and that'll give me flat glass. I'll start on that now. I'll try and find my my phone holder so that I can video it, but that's what we're going to do today. There you go, then cut out. You can see, hopefully you can see, there's only a little radius on it. So I'm going to pie cut it, and then I'm going to put a straight edge down it one way or another, and just get it dead straight, put it back in, and then weld it back in place. Should be easy enough. There you go. Simply pie sliced all the way along it, and the whole thing's nice and floppy. You can bend it straight, easy enough, and then weld every line back up and every one of the outside lines back up, and then we'll weld it back in. So to keep it straight while I'm doing that, you can see it's not far off. All I'm going to do is that, and then just tack all the way along and all the way along here. What I'm going to do is, when I'm ready to do all the final welding on the inside, I'm going to separate the body, lift it up, roll it over, and then I'll have nice access for welding all the insides without, you know, stooping over, bending over, trying to weld upside down, all that malarkey. So my plan is, once it's all, the heater channels are all in, I'll take it back off, and then I'll stand in the gap where the doors are and weld it all up, and weld all the inside of that up. But for now, it'll just get tacked into place. We'll do a bit of that now. Just tacking this back together. And I don't know if everybody knows these little things, but there's a block of aluminium and this is steel, and you cannot weld aluminium to steel. So if you use a block of aluminium behind your weld, it will hold this straight, hold it flat, but it can't weld. So when you take it off, it just falls away. Simple as that. So it's a great tip. You can't weld aluminium and steel together. All I've got to do now is line up all these, get them all nice, and then recut this line and weld it back together to the metal, to the roof. So I'll do a bit more now and then see what it looks like. Just noticed then, as I was putting this in and I've pushed that back. This here had got a hump developed, like it wouldn't line up nice, so I've just put a little pie slice in there and then pushed that back and cut it again, and that's sort of got rid of that hump, so it's a much nicer shape going across the roof, and it's kind of taken a bit of the peak out that you get in the later Beetles 66s and stuff, whereas like the early 50s had a no peak at all. This isn't quite a no peak, but it's certainly taken a little bit of this out and a little bit of this sort of eyebrow sort of hump there. I'm going to get rid of that just a little bit more, I think, but it's flat for sure, straight. I am going to cut this now and get that welded in. Alright, that's it. Dead flat glass, hopefully. I can see a tiny hump there actually, but I'll knock that out. But I've just gone along and tack welded it every few inches all the way along, back together. Quite like the shape. It's like there's a tiny low spot there which I'm going to push up and get that just a little bit more radius, but a tiny high spot there as well which needs knocking back. But other than that, it's flat across its plane, which means it should be dead easy for me to get a piece of glass cut for that. The sides are flat as well, so everything's easy to get cut, and the rears are factory glass, so easy. Happy days. That's it for tonight. Going home, get some dinner, and as I say, I'll weld all the inside once the car's on its side again, and then I can do a proper job of the inside. I'm not going to waste my time trying to get up there now and weld upside down. It's just not worth it. I've got all of these pie slices here to finish off and get that gap done, but I'll crack on with that tomorrow unless my parts turn up for the suspension. I've also got a bit of rust to deal with, but that's nothing really. We just chop that out. I'll get all of this done first before I chop that out, otherwise there's going to be nothing there. So there you go. See you tomorrow. Just 5 more seconds of video. That just welded it back in now, just following along, doing little welds, and then just grind it off. But always do a little bit here and then some over there and then some back, and keep the heat out of it so you shouldn't be able to distort anything. So but that is definitely it. I'm going home.